Number 11. In number 11, you have a circle and Cartesian coordinates. And you have -4, 0, 0, 8. You have W, 0. And this one, 0, -8. They ask you what the value of W. Well, you know, when you measure distance, distance is a scalar. Distance does not have a sign. For instance, if I measure you how tall you are, doesn't matter, you're in a bed, you're standing or upside down, it will be the same. There is no sign. This is scalar, right? Not vector. So the distance, this one is 4. Absolute value of this, 4. The distance of this one is W, since this is origin. Okay. This y distance is 8. And this distance, even this -8, the distance, absolute value is 8. Step number 1, find distances. Who understand this step? Hands up. Good. Now we have Hort theorem. If I have a circle, any circle, okay, and I have any chord, not necessarily perpendicular. Let's say this A, B, this C, and D. You know what is chord, right? Segment were connected 2 points on the circumference. And you know the chord, according to Hort theorem, A times B equals to C times D. Product always the same, regardless of this angle. So 4 times W equals 8 times 8. Divide by 4 both parts. 4 goes into 8 2 times. W equals to 1 line from moles. Who understand this 100%, students? 100. Keep in mind, very important theorem. It make you, or what about your dear book? 2 seconds. I have seen this theorem many times on your test. It's just 1 line. It's very important because you have time frame. It was 11. Number 12. Again, if you have any question without hesitation, ask me. In number 12, they have a graph. Let's say schematically, not in details. I have a Cartesian coordinate, and I have a parabola, kind of like this. And this point in this section is from your graph is 0, -3. I need to have some points. And you have this graph. And this set the y equals a times x minus 2 to the second minus 5. Okay. What the value of a? Well, you know this is in vertex form equation of parabola. And any point of this parabola satisfies this equation. We name it ordered pair. Ordered pair. If this is -3 equals to a times x 0 minus 2 to the second minus 5. Or -3 equals to -2 to the second is 4. Is 4a minus 5. plus 5 and plus 5, you will have 2 equals to 4a divided by 4 both parts, and this is 1 over 2. So all this idea is based on substitution. If point belong to graph, it satisfy any equation of this graph. Who understand this 100%? 100. Okay, if you notice, actually, we did few problems, and all of them, I just expand for explanation, but all of them just 1 or 2 line. And a little bit experience, you solve it just less than 30 seconds without any help, right? It was, let me cross it out, 17 asked this question. Well, 13. What we have in number 13? Number 13. A over B equals 0.48. And we have some interval 150 less than B less than 200. And what do we have to find? We have to find A. A is the question mark. Well, let me rewrite a little bit. Also try to do in one line. A over B equals to 0.48. Is the same 48 over 100, right? Agree? Let me simplify. What if I simplify by 4? If we divide by 4, I get 12 over 25. Right? What we have. Look at this. If I adjust for explanation, if I make a picture of this, this is B, 200 not included, 150 is not included, and this is between. Right? I want to make this result compatible because if I put 25 somehow, B pretend, B is beyond of this interval. You have to choose a number to multiply numerator denominator to have equivalent fractions. To have a value for B between this and this number. If I use 6 times 25 is 150. I got this one, not good. The value is not included. You know what I mean? If you multiply this by 6, does not work. Because B 150 excluded from this set. So far, so good. Think about another number. 7. If multiplied by 7, 140 plus 35, it would be 175. Yes, it's possible. 175 is over there. But related value for A would be 84. And A equals to 84 because I have to maintain the same ratio. One line. Who understands this 100%? Conversion decimals to fractions, fourth grade curriculum, right? Equivalency of fractions, also fourth grade curriculum. So you can definitely get FS score for this one. It was 13. Now let me go 14. 14. Okay, also many students. In number 14, we have y is greater or equals to negative 2x plus 5. And y is greater or equals to x minus 1. And we have a point AB which belongs to this solution. And they ask you to find B minimum. Well, build these two graphs. For instance, make Cartesian coordinates. B equals to negative 1. This is negative 1. And x goes 45 degrees with this one. Y equals to x goes this. So this line goes like this. And it's supposed to be a solid line. And this is a graph y equals to x minus 1. The second negative to x plus 5. This is 5, y-intercept. And negative x is supposed to go down. For instance, when x equals to what? 3, negative 6 plus 5. Let's say this is 1, 2, 3. I want to have some point 3. Y is supposed to be negative 1. Negative 2 times 3, negative 6 plus 1, negative 1. And I have to connect these 2 points. Now, let's find solution set. I take different color. And this is a graph y equals to negative 2x plus 5. Okay. And this one is greater. So this line split plane by 2 semi-plane, greater is this part, shaded. And the second, I take different color, red, for instance, it's about this line. Most important, this is intersection. Okay. I just visualize this problem. Everyone know how to solve two-dimensional inequality, right? And this is point. This is point A and B. From here, you clearly see this is point of intersection two lines, right? How to find this point? When they equals y the same and x the same in this case. So negative 2x plus 5 equals to x minus 1. They equal negative 5 and negative 5 minus x and minus x. And I have negative 3x equals to negative 6 divided by negative 3. X equals to 2. But x is a. They ask you to find b. Okay. How to find b? For instance, take this, plug in over there. And y would be negative 2 times 2 plus 5, which is 1. So b equals to 1. Step by step. But much faster You understand this concept much faster. I'll show this if you just type in Desmos and you automatically get the answer. You understand this 100%. Classical question. Evelyn? Good, hands down. Why can I can't do this without this? I can do it in one line, but it would be not correct because from here you just prove what you're supposed to find. You see, this is minimum common solution set at this point. You understand this? So illustrate, use images every time. Okay. We will soon ask number 15. 15. What is 15? Let me cross it out. Okay, you read this problem. Who would like to read number 15 out loud? Word problem. Anybody? Raise hand. Okay, Jasmine, please. Number 15. Yeah, we are ready to listen you.
Okay, sorry. The domestic texting plan of E-Mobile Telephone Company is modeled by the graph in the XY plane. Which of the following pairs of equations represents the graph of this plan?
Okay. Oh, this is the first module, right? 15. Excellent, nice reading. Good. Oh, I open module 2. Thank you. So sometimes when you have text problem, very nice reading, just make plus. When you have a word problem, better to read out loud because graph is. Let me put this graph. Number 15. 15. I make it just sketch of this graph. Okay, first of all, let's go with the first interval. This second one. And this 220. And this 430. Okay. And what is it? Number of texts. Number of texts. Of texts. And with this one, cost, dollars. And this is typical question. By the way, soon, who knows how you name this kind of function in math? Anybody? If you have this function, for instance, this function is parabola. How it also has name, this kind of function. Who knows the name of this function? Anybody? We unmuted you, yeah? We name it piecewise function. Piecewise function, especially we have a lot it in calculus. When you have different intervals, we have different functions. For instance, look at this. This horizontal function, right? Parallel to this. On this interval, it goes like line with positive slope. And they give you all this stuff. Let me see multiple choice what we have here. What we have in multiple choices. First of all, before to go multiple choice, let me find slope of this function. The known slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Since multiple choices, they look very similar. Let's say this is x2, y2, x1, y1. And you plug in here is 30 minus 20 divided by 400 minus 200. It would be 10 over 200, right? Or since they have in decimals, I multiply This is what kind of decimal they have in multiple choice? 1000 is 1/20, and multiply by 5, it will be 5/100 or 0.05. This is my slope. Okay. So equation of this line is, I don't know whether it goes this B, but it's 0.05x and plus B something. And look at this, we have two intervals. Now look at multiple choice, what we have. What we have for this interval? For this interval, y equals to 20. This is 20. So I'm talking about this interval, this one. So when x less than 200, right? Look at this. When x, this is 200. When x is less or equals to 200, y equals to 20. This is the first interval. And the second, since origin is shifted somehow, translated, not go from this one, right? To the right of this. Okay. What can you do for this part when x is greater than 200? I'm talking about the second interval. For the second interval, okay, first of all, it starts from y equals to 20. See? So y equals to 20. This original point of this. After that goes my function. Plus our slope we just found 0.05. Okay. But this is not x. Look at this. Pretend this is point, let's say 201, just for explanation. Right? This is 201. But for this function, it will be 201 minus 200 because it's starting from this period. That's why I take x, if I look at multiple choice, is subtract 200. Okay? Who understand this 100%? Who has question? Ask me. Benjamin, you have question? I give you another example. For instance, we have I give you a function like this, just so you understand. Let's say there's this line. After that goes parabola on this interval. And for this one, y equals to a. And for this one, y, let's say, equals ax squared minus, you have to subtract this distance, minus b to the second power for this interval. In piecewise function, you can have anything. You can have a combination of 7 different intervals with different functions. Okay, I believe you understand this, right, students? Next, many students ask number 18. What we have number at number 18? You have to circle section. Let me see this 18 for you. 18. What we have in 18? In 18, they give you 2 functions, not functions, circles. Let's say one circle has a circle A has a radius of r. Always illustrate what you do. Circle B is bigger. And circumference B, they said, equals circumference A plus 50. This is what is given. The function h give the area of circle B. H of r is area of what? Is the area of circle B in square meters. This function is area. Area of B represented by some function. What the following best define h? So you have to find this function. Let's do this. Okay. First of all, circumference of A is 2 pi RA. So based on this, any more information here? And this one would be 2 pi R. I plug in over there, A. Okay. And plus 50. And the circumference of B. Okay. From another side, I don't know radius of B. And I can write that circumference B equals 2 pi RB. And this equals 2 pi RA plus 50. From here, I can easily find what? RB. Divide by in terms of RA, because what is it? This is RA actually, right? I divide by 2 pi both parts. And cancel out. And I get relationship for RB. It's equals to RA plus 50 over 2 pi. And this equals to what? RB. Beautiful. Now we can easily find area. How to find area? Area of B equals pi RB to the second. But RB I found with pi times RA plus 50 over 2 pi. To the second. And which format they provided this? They provided format of decimals. Well, what I did, I divided 50 by 2 pi. After division, I get 796. You can use calculator, it's 796. You can make estimation, right? 50 divided by 6, it's about 8. 6 times 8, 48. Yes, it's about 8. And this would be the answer. So you can write, and this equals to H of RA. Actually, what I did, I found one circumference, another circumference in terms of this one. Express radius of this bigger circle in terms of small circle, and get area by pi r squared. To understand this, 100% students, 100. Yes, I agree with you. What about Ivan? You understand 100%? Good. Put your hands down. Some nice student asked about bathroom. I don't mind. Put your hands down, everybody, down. Go to the bathroom 3 minutes, come back, raise your hand. We continue our journey in digital SAT. Waiting for you. Elisa, Evelyn, Ivan, here. Evelyn. Let me continue. I believe everybody will join this. So, any question before I raise? No questions. Let's move to the next one. The next one is 19. In 19, what do we have? Given 4 less or equals x, or negative of 4, and less or equals to 46. In addition, x absolute value minus m less or equals to k. What the value of k? Students, it's a very important midpoint algorithm. If you have a question like this, what is supposed to do? Let me illustrate this. They are depicted by a number line, and this is 4, and this is 46 inclusively. This is x. So step number 1, when you have a problem like this, find xm, midpoint, equals x1 plus x2 divided by 2. This x1, this x2, equals 4 plus 46 divided by 2. 50 by 2 is 25. So step number 1, I found midpoint. And this midpoint equals to 25. Understand this step. Step number 2, midpoint means in the middle, right? Find delta distances, this one. Distance over there and distance over here. This is the same because it's middle. For instance, how to find this? I make it delta, for instance, I don't know. Or after that they change. So, okay. Okay. 40k equals 46 minus 25, which is 21. Or the same like 25 minus 4, which is 21. And look at this. Now this formula. M is midpoint. X minus 25 less or equals to 21. Distance to the border. Let's say k equals to 21. They ask you what is it? What k equals to 21. Who understands this 100%? Just 2 steps. 2 steps. It's hundreds of times the same problem. What about Benjamin? Benjamin.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
How do we know that M is the midpoint?
Well, nice question. I like your question. Many of you will go to nice colleges, right? Some of you science, engineering, MIT, for instance, right? In MIT or engineering stuff, you study a discipline, we name it tolerance and lending. You can Google this. What is it? Everybody of us use this every day in your life. You know, you never thought about this. How it's related to your experience. For instance, when people build or manufacture any things, I go from a little. For instance, you have a pencil box, and you have a pencil, right? I don't know how to make this picture. And when people make this drawing for this before, right? They said the size supposed to be, let's say, I just made up 10 inches, but nobody in the world can do exactly 10 inches. It's impossible. Temperature changes, mechanical devices changes. It's always have two numbers on the top. Plus minus 0.01 inch. Okay, the same for pencils. And when you make this plus minus, it means your pencil will perfectly fit this pencil box. If never, you come to Staples, you bought this one, and you see this pencil like this, because people do not follow this standard. How you carry? Just put on your shoulders. So this is formula we use for tolerance and landing. When you do something, what watch is most expensive in the world? You know, Swiss watches, right? Sometimes they cost much more than a car. Why? Because they use this formula. If you use, I give example, Chinese watches, right? With these gears, mechanical. I don't know. You know what I mean? Gears, right? There's gears around, and another mesh gears. It's rotated this way. They have big distance between them. For Swiss watches, they have assembly line. People in white gowns, they sit over there, and by microscope, they measure each gear and put in specific numbers. After that, they found gears with distance between almost the same, very small difference, right? Handle assembly, the name. So how they do this? They said that distance between value, average value what we have here, to the border supposed to be less or equal to this one. And this always middle. It means you can make it bigger than this, and you can make it smaller than this. This always middle. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
You take average plus minus every time. Sometimes on the test you have like 5 questions like this based on this simple idea. And if you measure this one, it's supposed to be, for instance, this 10.01. This is middle, 10.01. This is 10. And if you subtract, it would be what? 9.99. These sizes, and people who in the control department, they measure. If you have a little bigger than this or smaller than this, where this device goes? In garbage can. Okay. Okay. Keep in mind that SAT is not just SAT, it's life. Everything around you think behind. Has a lot of idea we use in science and life. Yes. Okay, so far so good. It was number 19. Let me cross it out. 21. I go through mostly quick questions. 21. Ten, not 8, 10, or 2 minus I times A plus BI equals to 1. A, B constant, what the value of A? Let me make A over there. And who familiar with complex numbers? Who study complex numbers? Put your hand down. Who has never studied complex numbers? Okay, a few words. So I don't go through history of numbers. At the beginning it was just 1, 2, 3, etc. Whole numbers. After that you study what? Fractions, you study negative numbers, you see development. After that, all of them included in real numbers. And in reality, people found another kind of number exists, like complex number y. For instance, you have equation x squared plus 1 equals to 0. And you cannot solve it, because if you put it to the last part, you get x squared equals to negative 1. That's why, but this is very important. All electronics, what we use, all devices, they build on idea of complex number. If you study this electronics, you will see how actively we use complex number. Complex number, very briefly, we can represent not a line on a plane. And we have two parts, imaginary part and real part. And let's say we have a number, which real number can be represented like a plus bi. This is real. This imaginary. And I equals to square root of negative 1. And let's say this is a 3 and b is 4. And number on a plane represents like radius vector from here. And I can represent this number like this, 3 plus 4i. So we can have special lecture for this, but we don't have too much time. We have two parts, real and imaginary part, where I equals to square root of negative 1. And when two complex numbers are equal, two complex number equals when, let's say, a1 plus b1i equals a2 plus b2i, when separately equal the real parts, and when separately equal imaginary parts. So far so good. So based on this idea, let's separate this. How to separate? I multiply reciprocally, I take different color, upside down. Upside down. For instance, with this one, I multiply this by 2 minus I over 10, left part. I multiply right part by 2 minus I over 10, and put it in parentheses, for instance. Now, what happens? I cancel out this. I have a plus bi equals, and to save time, I use butterfly rule, students. I divide each term by denominator like you did in third grade for fractions. It would be 2 over 10 minus 1 over 10i. And they ask you find what? I forget, a. So this is a. Two complex numbers are equal when the real part equal and imaginary part equal. So this is actually b, and this is a, and the answer is would be 2 over 10. Who understand this 100%? 100. Good. Next, students, I'm gonna go through more swiftly because we have many questions left. Okay. 20. What is it? 23. Also 8 people. We did many times. So you have 5x to the second plus cx plus 47. And it can be rewritten as mx plus n times x plus p. Where m and p integer. What the following must be integer. Okay. Look at this, what we have here. I look at the multiple choice. Okay. And looking on this without even multiple choice, forget about this. Pretend we have two answers, just x1, x2. And according to François-Vieta theorem, you know that x1 times x2 equals to 47. And x1 times x2 supposed to be equals to this with opposite sign. But they ask you based on this, right? And there are the rules. They don't ask you about C, they ask you x1, x2. Who understand this? Everybody know François-Vieta theorem, right? Who does not? Put your hands down, I explain again. Who does not know François-Vieta theorem? Look at this. X squared, I just make example, plus 3x plus 2 equals to 0. How to solve it? Put two pairs of parentheses, x, x. And think about two numbers which being multiplied give you this value. And being added, they give you this value. And this we name François-Vieta theorem. I even had a picture of him, if I can find. Oh, here it is. One of my colleagues from one university, he sent me the stamp. This is how he looked like. He lived in, this is a stamp, and he sent me this picture. He lived in 16th century. He met François-Vieta in France. He was bookkeeper, and he created this great formula. This we name François-Vieta theorem, right? François-Vieta. So again, product of these two equals to this one, right? So far so good. So product of these two equal to this one without x's. See this term without x's. So, and when you factorize, look at this. This p is one root, and is another root. If you divide by n, right? So now I look to multiple choice. If we have two roots, right? For instance, if one is root n, another one, let's say x1. Okay, and this equals to 47. How I know this is n? Let's say I look at multiple choice what they use. How to find x1? I divide by n. I get the answer d in this case, which the following must be integers, because product of them are integer. We understand this 100%, 100. I use François, it's one line problem, François-Vieta theorem. Very productive. And from the same package, it was 23. Let me see if I don't miss anything. Very fast. What you ask. So you have 25, 26. 25 rewards. in 25. Isosceles right triangle. This side equal to this one. And this 100 inches. What's the area? Area. One of the formulas we study for area is in 4th grade. Area of any triangle is base times height divided by 2, which is x times x divided by 2, which is x squared over 2. If I knew x, I would get, but I don't know x. For another side Pythagorean, x to the second plus x to the second equals to 100 to the second. Or 2x to the second equals to 4 zeros, because I put the second column, right? I divide both part by 4, not by 2, by 4, to save easy. Look at this, what I get. X squared over 2, and this is my area. I save my step. This is x squared over 2, my area. If you divide this by this, you get the answer. Who understand this 100%? 100. If you watch my videos, YouTube, Facebook, we name it in trees ideal final result. You think about final result, and after that you say one step. This is my final result, and this step which leading me to this final result. And next is a question related to 26. So let me really close it to 26. 126, right? 26. In 126, many students ask, you have vertex given. Vertex 3, -5. And I even can depict this somewhere, parabola like this, in vertex form. If this is 3, -5, pretend this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5. And schematically, this vertex and parabola goes like this, somehow. And you know parabola in vertex form. Y equals to ax minus 8 to the second and plus k. Since we have these values for this specific parabola, I don't know a, but I can easily write x, this is 3, minus 3 to the second, and this is -5. This is my parabola. What else they ask? They tell that if you write not in vertex forms, it looks like this. And the question is find a. Find a in this case. So we have different forms. Okay, let's use expanded form for this one. I want to make it compatible, right? It would be a x to the second expanded form minus 6x plus 9 minus 5, or I can use distributive. I would have ax squared minus 6ax plus 9h and minus 5. You understand up to this point? I use vertex form parabola. What about Dirabeau? Questions? Question, please. Put your hands down. Again, if you have any question, what I did, I just used the standard form for, I use vertex form, plug in this coordinate of vertex and get this expanded form. From another side, we're talking about the same parabola. Since we're talking about the same parabola, which is written in standard form, it's the same. Let me line up x squared plus bx and plus c. So this guy is c, this is b, and this is a. Okay. And now they said, okay, just close it just a second. 26. They said, here it is. They ask you to find a plus b plus c. Well, let's do this, a plus b plus c. And they provide multiple choices for this. Well, so my a equals to a. It's itself, right? B, let me put over there. Instead of this, I put here. A plus B is negative 6a. And plus C, instead of C, I put this guy. 9a minus 5. Or a minus 6a is negative, what I have here. Negative 5a plus 9a. I will have 4a minus 5. They combine like terms. Who understand this, students? Just combine. Mark? Yes. And this one. Okay. But how to make decision about value of a from here? Let me write it down what we get. I get a 4a minus 5. But look at this. A responsible way of parabola goes either up, down, up, upside down, or this way. Okay, so it goes up. So this must be greater than 0, right? And based on this, I look in this for multiple choices. Which one? For instance, let's say I choose A for multiple choice. 4a minus 5 equals to negative 8 plus negative 8, plus 5 and plus 5. 4a cancel out equals to negative 3 divided by 4. A equals to negative 3 over 4. Is it possible, students? Is it possible? Parabola goes upward. And A is negative, it's supposed to go downward, garbage. You can, the same way, check any values. For instance, I check over there. For instance, B. 4a minus 5 equals to negative 6. Plus 5 and plus 5. and you have -1 for A. Obviously, A is negative, parabola is supposed to go downward. Does not work. Let's say D. For A -5 equals to 0. Straightforward. +5 +5. And for A equals to 5. Good. And we get that parabola goes upward. If it goes further, all the answer is D, because otherwise we have contradiction. Who understands this question? Okay, good. So let me see if I don't skip anything. We need to go through the second part also. The second part. So practically from module 1, I explained almost the class question. If you have any questions, really need question help, because I went through all of them. Yes. Ask me. If not, I go through module 2. Module 2. And question, where is module 2? I start from mostly class questions, okay? Okay, where is it? Module 2, number 8. Yes, Sasha, your question, right? So students, if you have simple equation, I just give a instruction what to do. This is typical question. Number 8. Number 8, you have some table, x and h of x, and some numbers. For instance, 0, -6, etc. What following define h of x? What you're supposed to do? Choose any functions, for instance, c, which is the answer. H of x equals to x squared minus 6. And plug into this, for instance, -6, and instead of x, 0. And see if left part equals to right part for all this value from this table. Sometimes they give on SAT two functions at the beginning, they work. But if you check other number from this row, does not work. Who understand this? Substitution. Okay, good. Few seconds. Next is, based on your questions, number 13. In 13, you have a table with different fruits, 120 fruits. You have apples, and you have pears. And what the question? Randomly selected. What the probability that green that selected is pear? Look at this green, and look at this pear, this one, intersection. What do we have here? 15. And probability they have probability you got pear, green, here. Take 15 favorable outcomes. The number of pears in this row is 60. And this will be the answer. So far so good. 13. Probability is ratio of favorable outcomes to total. Next is where you have many students, number 16. Again, if too fast, ask me. But this is just a second. Next one, number 16. 16. Make a picture. X square plus is 5x. This is 4x. This is 110. This is B, A, and C. Okay, what value of x? Well, students, also one line problem. This exterior, remember this angle exterior, outside. Exterior angle in any triangle equals total two remote angles. So x squared plus 5x equals 4x plus 110. And we have quadratic equation. Okay. Who understand this? Dilrabo, you understand why you're not raising hand? 2 seconds, okay? You know my rule. 2 seconds rule. Who need help how to solve quadratic? Put your hands down. Who need help how to solve quadratic equation? Everybody knows, right? Even you can type it in Desmos like it is, and you instantly get downs. Let's see a few seconds questions. Next, I try to go through majority of questions. Okay, next is 18. In 18, you have function h of x equals 1 over 3, open parentheses, x minus 5 to the second power, minus 75, close parentheses. What value that x reaches minimum? Well, for which value of x it reach minimum? Well, what can you do in this case? I look into multiple choice. Okay, let me distribute. I have 1 over 3 of x minus 5 to the second minus 75 over 3. And this is 25. If you did today, this h of x in vertex form parabola, it's a times x minus h to the second and plus b whatever plus k. So in vertex form, if I draw this picture here, right, what we have? This guy is 5. This is 5. And this is negative 25. And it goes like this. So look at B. X equal to 5 when x equals to negative 25. Straightforward. Who understand this? Minimum value is negative 25, straightforward. Also, if you say, you need to know basic of this, that's it, and you win. Few students ask, "22. Y equals to x minus 5. Y equals to, I skip, x minus 5, x plus 5, and y equals to negative 2. And three linear equations have how many solutions? How many solutions does system have? Who would like to know how to solve this in 3 seconds? 3 seconds. Ivan? You don't know, you don't want to know the secret, Dilarbo? Dilarbo, 3 seconds question. You're not listening. One more time. No way to raise hand in 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Look at this. It has no sense. The explanation takes more, but it's actually 3 seconds. You will see. Look at this. X minus 5. Let's say if y equals to x is this one, right? X minus 5 is parallel to this. Y equals to x minus 5. X plus 5 goes parallel to this. X plus 5. You know that they have solution. All of them supposed to intersect and want all three of them. You understand this, right? All three supposed to have common point of intersection. Is it possible, according to Euclidean postulate, to parallel line to intersect somewhere? What do you think? No. Since these two lines never intersect, not nice picture. Regardless, wherever you write this line, they will not have negative 2. They will not have, three of them will not have common point because these two lines never intersect. So zero solutions. Who really understand this? Yes, absolutely, Ivan. 100%. Who understand this? Good, good, good. Let me go through another one where you ask questions. Okay. The next one, I'm looking for this one. "21, few students asked. Let's keep 21. In 21, I believe you have y equals to negative x squared plus cx and minus 484. Where c is a positive integer. The equation has no real solution. No real solution. When they have no solution, I just remind you, pretend in general form we have ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. And you have quadratic formula. 2a minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. Right, remember? How we name this guy under radical? Everybody knows, right? How we name this? Who knows? Come on, discriminant, right? They have no solution when discriminant and the radical is supposed to be negative. So b squared minus 4ac. If it's negative, you cannot take square root of negative. Now let's find this. What is b? b is they confuse you, this c. C squared minus 4. A is negative 1. And C is negative 484. When discriminant less than 0, they don't have real solutions. So C squared minus is 4 equals minus 4 times 484 less than 0. Or plus this 4 times 484 less than, and plus 4 to both parts. And what I will get? I get c squared cancel out less than 4 times 484. So far so good. For understand this 100%, raise your hand. Who has questions? No questions, right? Okay, good. If I take square root of both parts, I get c less than 2. I will not put plus minus because c is positive. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 484 is 22. And this is 44. If I depict a number line C, and this is 44, and less than 44 is 43. And answer is 43. So idea about discriminant is very productive for many questions. So let me see what I do not explain. I explain this one. Also, many students ask another question, which is, let me find this question. 27. 27. In 27, they said 350 is R% greater than 70. Well, we have 70. Convert percent to numbers. How we convert? It's R over 100, right? For instance, 50% is 0.5. 60%, 0.6. You always divide by 100 when you convert to numbers. All of 70. And they said it equals to what? 350. Who understand this 100%? 100%. Good. Now how to solve? Let's solve it. Well, I can easily simplify by 70 everything. I divide because they're multiple of 70. I have 1 plus R over 100 equals to 5. Or minus 1 R over 100 equals to 4 over 1, right? And R equals to 400%, obviously, right? Who understand this up to this point, everything? Good, good, good. So practically, I explain all most frequently asked questions from this test. But if you have any questions, ask me. I can go back and explain to any question. So let me emphasize again. I can solve majority of this question on this different software. I can show any problem practically. Almost any problem, you can solve it faster. And we have to develop the skill. But first of all, we should develop analytical thinking skill. Don't believe this garbage people who recommend you just don't think about, just type, etc. You want to be like smart kids. You have to think, right? Not just rely on calculator. It's not a good idea. But do you have to know calculator? Yes. These your tools. So when you operate, you understand this whole operation, you can be more proficient in using different calculators, right? And in addition, if you, my suggestion, go through this test again. And in addition to redo everything, you can ask me next class, for instance, how to solve any of this problem or majority questions using different software I show on the screen. Okay, maybe it's because software just save you time in condition that you develop your analytical thinking skill. To understand this step, don't ignore soft. If they give you, it's beneficial because you can save time. Using this knowledge and plus soft, very difficult not to get perfect score. Did I explain something difficult today? The same problem over and over again. Hundreds and hundreds of students all over the world get perfect or close to perfect, my students. It's like it was 2400, they get 2400. 1600, 1600. Depends on scale you measure. Okay? So no stupid kids at all kids smart, 100%. I never found. For 49 years, I never found any kid who is not smart. But if you're just watching with popcorn, this video does not work. You have to develop your muscles constantly. Ask me any questions if you have. No questions. Okay. Did you have fun today, Kanda? Raise your hand. Yes. Do you prefer on the screen? Who prefer on the whiteboard? Put your hands down. Who prefer on the whiteboard better? Oh, majority on whiteboard. I agree with you. I also like whiteboard. Why I use screen? Because on screen we have what? We have our calculators, different calculators here. I don't have, according Japanese studying, right? University, did I tell you before we finish? They made experiment. Many years they study how people, how students digest information. And they use, in their experiment, all modern smartboard and just regular environment. In this regular environment, according to this, I have these articles, they have 25–30% better understanding than in these smart boards. I had a smart board a while ago when I made a lecture in Italy, in Switzerland for professionals. But I get rid, and this is the best way. You have impression that you're in a class, you can follow all the steps, you can write it down. This is much better because we're in different conditions. When I just click on this, pop up, you don't have this option. Okay. If you don't have any questions, again, we finish. No questions, right? Good. Let me give you homework. Let me give you homework, students. One student from Europe asked to upload, he came late. What he asked? He asked to upload this lecture to our media. If manager upload this lecture, who will watch this lecture? If you upload this lecture on the whiteboard, or on this whiteboard, on media, Facebook, YouTube. Okay, we'll try. Okay, we'll try to upload. Now, your homework. Digital IT today is 11:02. Try to get perfect score. It's not difficult. Read a notebook. What is it? Do it again. Whatever we did in class. This, redo test number 4. I give another one. I'm not sure. Maybe 5, maybe not. 2 steps. And don't forget, everybody, without exception, send us your work. Not only answer your work to Farber Center through my AI. Plus, I don't know which links. Probably I'll give you a link for this lecture if you have work. And number 4, prepare questions. Question from this test, from today's test, today's digital SAT test for software. It means I will, in one of my platforms, I'll show how to solve this problem fast when you be ready, okay? Because it saves you time. For this particular, which test? This one. Okay, good. Now soon, be strong, be well, enjoy math. Have a nice weekend. Bye.